back in November, Linkin Park came back with their new album From Zero, and I gave it a fairly positive review. There was people who were definitely skeptical of it, as it was their first album in 7 years, because obviously, after Chester Bennington's untimely death, the future was kind of uncertain, and even though we were happy that they were back, the band just moving on without it with a new singer and Emily Armstrong, it just, at first it felt a little bit like, oh no, here we go, but you know what, I gave it my chance, and it is rocking. She is doing a good job, and I've come to realize she's not there to replace Chester. She's there to help continue on the legacy that he helped create with Linkin Park. And I kind of thought that was going to be it for a while, that they were going to do this tour, and, you know, things were going to go back to normal where they would release an album every 3 years or so. But then in January, we got a brand new song called Up From the Bottom, and it was an announcement that From Zero Deluxe Edition was coming out. Now, it's only 3 new songs. There's a bunch of, live stuff on there from the tour, but we're only here to talk about the studio tracks, and I kind of wanted to give my thoughts on the Deluxe Edition as a whole, so basically, this is a review. Now, as for the regular From Zero album, the 11 tracks that were on it, I feel like some of them have grown on me over the time of listening. Like, I wasn't a fan of Overflow that much when it came out, but now that I've kind of heard it more and more, it's kind of become one of my favorites. Stain's grown on me a little, but that would still probably be my least favorite from the new album. And then, of course, the singles, Emptiness Machine, Two-Faced, Heavy as the Crown, those were great. And even the other single, Over Each Other, which is the more Emily Armstrong leading track, that one has grown on me a lot too, to a point where the album as a whole was good, but I felt like it was still missing something, and well, these 3 tracks definitely complete what it was missing, as Up From the Bottom ends up being the 12th track on the record, and then right after that we have a song called Unshattered. And I will say this, Up From the Bottom, really good kind of throwback-y track. Emily takes the vocals on the chorus and the verses while Mike chimes in here and there. And with Unshattered, it's cool and all the instrumentation, but I don't know, I'm not feeling the chorus that much. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say it's horrible per se, but getting Up From the Bottom and then getting that, it was kind of like, that one I will admit was a little mediocre. And then, of course, the one song we didn't hear before the Deluxe Edition came out, we just heard that today, was Let You Fade. Now, this one is very emotional because when I'm listening to it, kind of almost feels like it's a message to Chester and to the fans who are kind of, complaining about ruining Chester's legacy, saying, time just fucking sometimes sucks, and you gotta you gotta keep going with the time. Like, you can't waste your time wondering what if this, that, and the other, or just, you gotta go about your lives. And Chester's death was out of nowhere for everybody, and it was sad because he, had people relate through him through the music and all this kind of stuff, and he was just a genuinely kind guy. And the band is still showing you, like, hey, we're never gonna let Chester's legacy fade away. That is never gonna happen. Like, yes, we started this new chapter, but at the same point in time, that doesn't take away what we had with Chester, and we will continue to let that legacy live on by also being able to live in the past and being able to sing those songs and being able to bring those to light, because, Linkin Park's a worldwide known band. People know their most popular older songs, and those are never going to die out. They're still going to release new music with a new singer and everything, but they're not going to let Chester's legacy just completely, go bye-bye. They're never going to let that happen. And frankly, again, that song almost made me tear up a little bit. It didn't make me tear up as much as, say, like a song like The Messenger or One More Light, but it definitely had a strong message because that was the first new song of theirs where I kind of felt that it was just, if it wasn't about Chester intentionally, it definitely came off that way, and it was just kind of like, wow, they're finally acknowledging it in a song. As you know, I don't rate Deluxe Editions, so I'm not going to give a rating to this because I already liked the album as it was, and these Deluxe tracks definitely do add a little something to it, so it would still be a good rating nonetheless. But all in all, I would definitely recommend these 3 tracks, which again is Up From the Bottom, Unshattered, and Let You Fade, because they add so much more to the album that was good, but felt like it was still missing something in the end. And like I mentioned before, I'm glad Linkin Park's back. Yes, Chester's not a part of it, and even Rob Bourdon, the drummer, is gone, but we never thought we were going to get them back in the first place, and they're here, they're still kicking, they're still doing their thing, and they're still letting their friend's legacy live on, and that's all you can really say about that. But you can tell me in the comments below if you've heard the new tracks from the Deluxe Edition. What are your thoughts on it? And what are your thoughts on them being added to the album? Do they add anything for you? Or does it take away from how, you thought about the album in the beginning? But till then, stay safe out there, and I will catch you all in the next one.